Yeah. Hi, Divya. Could you please introduce about yourself?
Okay, Naveen. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to introduce about myself. My name is Divya, and I am from Hyderabad. I worked as a test engineer for 2 years, and thanks for conducting this mock interview based on the API testing using the Postman.
Okay. So, what is the meaning of the API testing?
Yeah, sure, Naveen. API testing, usually the API stands for the Application Programming Interface. So here the API acts as an medium between the two software applications or the two systems, where we used to share the information between the two systems, or and also we can share the data by using this API. Main goal of the API, like what the functionality it does is API, when it takes the request from the client and it get back the response from the server. In between the client and server, we will have the API.
Okay. So, could you please tell me what is the status code of 400?
Uh, Status code of 400. Mainly, the meaning of the status code is whatever the request we have sent to the server, it will get back the response from the server is known as the status codes. So the 400 status codes gives the, like, we'll get the 400. Uh, how to tell, when we have the client side issues, we will get the 400 status codes. So it's nothing but a 400, nothing but a bad request. We'll get a status code as the bad request. This bad request gets when we enter any URL changes or anything has to be done. Like if we gave an any invalid URLs at that time, we'll get a 400 as a bad request.
Okay. So, what is the differences between the request body and response body, Divya?
Yeah, sure, Naveen. In Postman, we have the request body and response body. So here the request body is nothing but whatever the information, like whatever the data we are giving as a request to the server is known as the request body. Like whatever the input or whatever the information we are trying to send from our side, like from the client side to the server, is known as the request body. So here, whatever about the response body is, response body after sending the request from the client, whatever the server takes the input from the client, and it returns back the response. So that response is known as the response body. Mainly for the put and post methods, it's mandatory to pass the request body in the API.
Okay. So, what you are validating in the response body?
Yeah. After sending the request, we'll get the response as a status codes, response time, response body. So while validating the API testing, I'll mainly make sure that what is the response time, what type of the status code I'm getting, whether the given request is successful or not. If it's successful, we'll get the status code as 200, 201, like that. There are different types of the status codes. And I also make sure that the response time should be less than, like it should be in between 2 to 3 seconds itself. This indicates that the lesser the time, the better the performance of the API. So these are the different, and I also check the data accuracy, like whatever the request I have sent, that the same data is reflecting or not. These are the different things I'll validate by using the API.
Okay. So, how many types of endpoints we have in the API?
Uh, could you please repeat the question, sir?
How many types of methods we have in the API?
Yeah, in methods. Yeah, mainly in API, we use the 5 HTTP requests or the methods in the API. They are get, post, put, patch, and delete. Put and patch, they both have the same functionality, not exactly the same. Post is used to create. Get is used to retrieve the data. Post is used to create or insert the data. Post request is used, and the put method is used to update the existing data. And if we call the multiple times, if we call the put request, we will get the multiple records. When it comes to the put method, we can update only the partial data is update. Partial existing data is only applied when we are using the patch method, and when it comes to the delete, we can delete a resource. So these are the different types of the HTTP methods are used in the API.
Okay, what is the query parameter and path parameter, Divya?
Yeah, query parameter is nothing but it is used to filter. It usually starts after the question mark. Here, the question mark indicates that the query parameter is starting. So this is it is base. It is also query and path parameters. Both are present in the URL itself. But after the domain, whatever it might be a user or product to retrieve that particular data, it is known as a path parameter. And to filter what type of data we have to get, at that time we use the query parameter. Usually the query parameter will start after the question mark.
Okay, so what is the drawback of the Swagger tool?
Sir, I couldn't get.
What is the drawback of the Swagger tool?
Drawback of the Swagger tool. Mainly, Swagger is a type of a documentation where we can have all the APIs together. So the drawback is.
Shall we run multiple APIs at a time in the Swagger?
By using a collection runner, we can run the multiple APIs at a time.
Okay, where we have the collection in the Swagger or in the Postman?
We have the collection in the Postman.
Yes. So we are unable to run the multiple APIs in the Swagger, right?
Yes, sir.
That is the drawback, right?
Huh.
Okay. What is the try it out and why we are using in the Swagger?
We didn't use this.
So did you execute the any API in the Swagger? How you are executing the API in the Swagger? First you are opening the API and directly we don't have access on the API. We are clicking on the try it out. It will be enabled, right?
To validate the API, like whatever the request I need, I used some of the websites. So I am using the websites. We have the different HTTP request methods. So when I want to have the access for the post request, like I need to get on a post, at that time I use the try it out. Then where I can have the URL response body, like it shows all that information over there.
How many types of status codes we have? Would you please tell me?
Status codes are nothing but whatever the response we are getting from the server after sending the API request. So this is known as the status codes. So the mainly in Postman, the status codes are categorized into the five types or the 5 series. Like one series indicates that just the information will be sent in the 1xx series. If it is 2 series, whenever our request has been successful, we'll get the response as a success from the API. We'll get 200, 201. 200 comes under okay, like whatever whenever you are using the get request, we are getting the status code as 200. That means we have just retrieved the data and it is successful. At that time we'll getting the 200 status codes. And when it comes to the 201 in the post method, like when I am trying to insert a new data, at that time I am getting the status code as the 201. It indicates that the whatever the data I have inserted, the data has been created, and 202 created. And when it comes to the 3 series, it's mainly for the web browser redirections, we will have the 3 series status codes. And when it comes to the 4 series status codes, it deals with the when we have the errors from the client side, at that time we will have the 4 series like 401, 402, 401. Like these are the different types of the status codes we'll be getting from the client side. 5 series when we have the default in the servers from the server side. 500, like when the like particular has been crashed or like that. When there is some issue from the server side, we will get the status codes like 500, 502, like that. We will be having the different types of the status codes in
Okay.
the API.
What is the difference between the 401 and 503?
Sure. Give me a second, Naveen. 400 is a bad request. 401 is unauthorized.
Okay.
When we have the invalid token when we use any sort of the invalid token, we will be getting the status code as the 402.
Mhm.
Uh, and 500 status code will be getting when there is any defect or when there is any problem from the server side. At that time we'll get the 5 series status codes. So 503 indicates 502 indicates the invalid response from the third person, like another server. Yeah.
Okay. 503 is service unavailable. Right?
Okay. Service unavailable.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many types of tokens and authentications we have?
Tokens and authentications. We in Postman we have the 8 types of authentications. OAuth 0.1, OAuth 0.2, bearer token, API key, basic auth, AWS signature. So these are the different types of the authentications we used in the Postman.
Okay. So how you are using the barrier token? Could you please tell me one example?
Mm, Barrier token is for the security purpose. We are using this barrier token. Here, the token is nothing but authentication. While using the authentication process, we are using these type of the tokens in Postman.
Okay. Uh, so how you are uploading image in the Postman?
Yeah, we can upload the images in Postman by using the font data,
Mhm.
which is present in the request section itself. Under the request section, we have the um, like body. Inside the body. When we click on the body tab, uh, after getting into the body tab, we need to select the text into the file format, and when we drop down it, we can select the image in Postman.
Okay. So like, do we fetch APIs from the UI?
Sir,
Do we fetch APIs in the UI?
it's the
How
yes,
many?
sir.
Yeah, tell me how you are doing in the how you are fetching APIs in the UI.
UI is nothing but the user interface. So in order to test the APIs, we need URLs, like basic URLs. So that basic URLs which are present in the UI path, by that way I'm getting the APIs.
Okay. How many ways you are importing the APIs and collections? Do you know
Uh,
import option in the Postman?
Import. No, sir.
Okay, cool. So what is the difference between the global variable and the environment variable? Did you work on that? No.
Yeah, no, sir. Variables topic.
Okay, okay, cool. So, like, while you are using that collection, so do we have to access run the all APIs under the collection?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how you are going to run? Could you please tell me?
Mm, by using that inside that collections tab, we will be having the run option. By making use of that run option,
Okay.
we can
Okay, you can run, right? So how you are sending the output result to the developer? How you are sending? You are
like
exporting the result or how you are sending?
uh, whatever the response we will be getting, that will be sent to the developer.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you, Divya. Thanks for the interview. Okay.
Okay.